Alright, shalom, shalom, shalom. I'm gonna get it started. Shalom, Yashala, shalom. Peace to the nation. Alright, first and foremost, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash, Karla Imla, Alahayanawa, Abanawa, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Alright. And I titled this live, The Only Way to Be Saved During Jacob's Trouble. Right? The only way to be saved during Jacob's trouble. The only way to survive, the only way to make it, the only way to stay alive, during Jacob's trouble. And for those that don't know what Jacob's trouble is, it's pretty much what they say in the Christian church, or what they say, in the world, the Great Tribulation. Right? They say the Great Tribulation, or you might even hear them say, the 7-year period of tribulation, or something like that. But Jacob's trouble is basically a time like never before. The Lord Yahweh Shai, Khan Shalom King, Yabashima Shabakatah. All right. The Lord speak about the Great Tribulation in Matthew 24. A time like none other before. I mean, it's gonna be chaos on the earth. Basically, it's gonna be great chaos. I mean, it's gonna be disorder. It's gonna be mass murder, genocide. Crime is going to be, think about crime, but it's going to be lawlessness out here. Everything that you could think of is going to be at an all-time high. I'm talking about, not everything you think of. I'm going to say this, all bad stuff. When you say all bad stuff, is going to be at an all-time high. Murder, you name it, bro. Murder, war, natural disasters, poverty, famine, all type of stuff, man. All evil. I'm gonna say all evilness, all evil, and all unrighteousness will be at an all-time high. During this time, you're gonna have the new world order, which is basically a new regime by the international globalists to pretty much reduce the world's population. Right, to reduce the world's population and unite the earth under one, unite the earth in one kingdom under the vibration of Satanism. Right? That's basically what the New World Order is, summarized up. And this is going to be happening during Jacob's trouble or the Great Tribulation. All right? You think about the MOTB, the Mark, Revelation 13. Okay? The hour of temptation, So this is what Jacob's trouble or the Great Tribulation entails, man. It entails the average person, okay, in like the average person in like a first world country, like a country like America, experiencing beyond third world poverty. Hell, fourth world poverty. It's going to be putting a new meaning to poverty, famine, pestilence, mass death, murder, genocide, disease. When I said pestilence, disasters. Okay, so it's gonna be a time like none other before. And I taught this: the only way to be saved during Jacob's trouble, the only way to make it, the only way to be preserved, to see it through, because the survival rate. Okay, when this stuff happened on the earth, the survival rate is gonna be below 50%, man. All right. Well, actually, it's gonna be lower than that. On the general scale. Really, on the, I don't really got all the numbers together. I can say it verbatim on top of my head on the most I know, but the survival rate is gonna be definitely below 5%. I'll say that. The survival rate is gonna be below 5%. All right. If you were Israelite, all right, in America, the Lord's gonna save 1/3 of Israelites in America. So if you're an Israelite in America, the survival rate for you is going to be 33%, which is still low. That's under 5. That's under 50%. But the Lord's going to save other Israelites for the full corners of the earth as well. But I'm just speaking about America. If you're an Israelite in America, if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, your survival rate in America is going to be 33%. All right, and that's according to Zechariah, the 13th chapter. Zechariah 13, 8 on down. All right, but on the general scale, from a worldwide scale, your survival rate during the time of Great Tribulation, I would say, would be like below 5%. And I might be, giving it the benefit of the doubt. But it's important to touch up on these times, because they're coming, man. We see in the movies that these people pushing out. You got what 3 or 4, 5 strong prophetic movies, man. I can think of one that came out. It was during the summer, called Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer came out. That's when we read them scriptures speak about the Lord created the waster to destroy. The Lord created the smith. Pretty much the Lord created the engineer to create these weapons of mass destructions, like the nuclear missiles, man. Got movies like the Oppenheimer, man. All right, movies like Hunger Games. The Hunger Game movie that came out. The Hunger Game movie that came out. It pretty much goes back in time and shows you the beginning of the Hunger Games, like pretty much the origin story, the first Hunger Game ever created. Which I believe, me personally, I believe the Hunger Games, I believe that's gonna play out in the near future. I believe that's like because when you get into the Hunger Games series, it's like post-apocalyptic. It's like a post-apocalyptic movie setting. Like when you get into it, like the story is about, basically, it was a civil war that broke out, all right, which caused mass death, mass genocide. And so when they had pretty much settled the civil war or whatever, they divided the country into sections. The masses of the people into sections and whatnot. And you had the lower class, you had the rich. All the rich would stay at the capital. And basically for the insurrection, for the uprising, for the civil war, the consequence was from each subdivision, from each section, they would have to deliver up a child to participate in the Hunger Games. And that would be like the sacrifice. That would be like the sacrifice for the rich or whatever. They'd be like the sacrifice for the country to remind them of the Civil War and the outbreak that happened and the downfall of the country. And so the Hunger Games series, that setting was post-apocalyptic. Apocalyptic is basically like catastrophic ending event to something. And that was like post that. And I believe that's what the elites want to do, you know, in the NWO. And they pretty much, they show you what they trying to do in these movies. They put it in your face. It's called what? Predictive programming. You know, whatever they put in the media, it's a lie, but whatever they put in the movies, it's the truth. You know, Khan, Shalom, you know, whatever they put in the movies, it's the truth. So me personally, I believe the Hunger Games is something that the elites want to do in this new world, you know, in a new world agenda, in this beast system. You know, so you got a movie like Hunger Games came out. You got this movie. I'm not sure if it came out. I'm not sure if it is out. It is out. It's out now. But I heard about it. I was able to I was able to watch it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just clipped through it before it actually posted came out. It's called Leaders World Behind. Right? So I was able to see that movie in November before it actually supposed to come out. You know, and I'm not gonna say his name of who I heard it from, you know, but I could give a hint who the guy is, you know. All right, but I ain't gonna say that man's name, you know. I did I believe 2-3 videos on this guy. All right, but he actually you know, he gave us some useful information on that movie before everybody was even talking about Leaders World Behind. You know, which everybody talking about Leaders World Behind, but that movie is not the first. You know, that movie is just one of many movies that came out of them showing you what's to come. You know, that movie is many movies. All right, that's not the first movie that came out, but it is you know, a movie. I was able to see some of the stuff. You know, I was because I didn't watch it. I didn't really have time to watch it full through, but I just checked it out because I seen he was talking about it and where to go to see it. And I was able to, you know, get access to the movie before it actually was released. Before anybody was talking about it, I was able to get my hands on it. I believe it was 3, almost about 4 weeks ahead of before everybody was talking about it. It's called Leaders World Behind, but that's also a prophetic movie. All right, and I believe they said Barack and Michelle Obama was the executive producers, or I don't know, producers, I guess. You know, so there been movies that been coming out. You know, that's 3 movies I can name. I'm pretty sure it's more. All right, but these movies coincide, or it's like a telltale thing of what's to come, man. You know. It's like a telltale sign of what's to come. You know, Jacob's trouble, the Great Tribulation. And you know, and sticking back to the title, the only way to survive, right? I titled this the only way to be saved during Jacob's trouble. Right? The only way to be saved during Jacob's trouble. And pretty much the point I'm making is, you know, these horrific times that's coming up and the survival rate is going to be low. Nobody's talking about how you going to be saved, how you supposed to, you know, be preserved, how you going to make it, man. And the only way to survive during Jacob's trouble is having faith, right? And it's not just word of faith, but you got to have faith in Yahweh. You got to have faith in Yahweh, in Shai, man. All right? You gotta have faith in Yahweh Shai. You gotta have faith in Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, and I'm gonna prove it. You know, through various examples, man. All right, to where the only place you can run to. You can just think about Proverbs. What is Proverbs 18? The Lord's name is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and are safe. All right. But the only place you're going to be able to, the only place of refuge, that's what I'm using. The only place of refuge you're going to be able to run to is having faith in Yahweh Shema Shai, man. You gotta have faith in the You gotta have faith in the supernatural. You gotta have faith in the divine. You gotta have faith in Yahweh. Right? You gotta have faith in the Most High God. And it's more than just saying, yeah, I got faith. Yeah, I got faith. Because, like I said, it's the hour of temptation. During the times that we're coming in, the Most High is gonna test. The Most High is gonna test. It's gonna test, man. You know? The Most High is gonna test people out here. All right? And the only way you can make it is holding on to your faith. Right? That's why it's important. It's imperative of the things that you do now. It's going to that's something, man. Like, since I was walking out here with no cars out here, but ever since I started this video, like what? I don't think not even 5 seconds a car hasn't passed by me. This spiritual warfare, right? This definitely spiritual warfare, man. All right? I don't even think 5 seconds a car hasn't passed by me. You know, this how you know, what I'm doing is right. This is the spirit, man. You know, and Satan out here trying to, stop the word. But that's all good. I'm going to keep going. All right? But, back on to what I was saying. What you do now is going to show forth in Jacob's trouble, right? So the seeds you plant now, the faith that you building up now, the Lord put you through different trials and tribulations and tests to see how you respond, to see how you keep going. That's ultimately building you up for the times to come. Jacob's trouble, for the things to play out in the future. Because whether we want to admit it or not, we haven't really seen nothing yet, bro. We haven't really seen nothing yet. And not just us that believe, but I'm just talking about on a general scale, man. On the worldwide population, nobody on earth really seen that yet. You think about these veterans and people in these third world countries, even they haven't seen them, because again, the prophecy says, all right, and the Lord is not a liar, right? The Lord is not a man that he should lie. The Lord, Numbers 23:19, the Lord is the Most High is not a man that he should lie. Have he said it, and shall he not, do it, or shall not make it good? Roughly paraphrasing. All right, roughly paraphrasing. But the Most High is not a liar, man. So if he said he's gonna bring a time on the earth like none other before, all right, a horrific time, then he gonna do it. So nobody has seen nothing yet. All right. None of us really seen nothing yet. So when it's the playoffs, because I like to use, I like to imagine the Jacob's trouble, the Great Tribulation, as like the playoffs, because the playoffs is when it really matters, because that's when you win or go home, because you playing for the championship, and we know what we playing for at the end of this thing. After Jacob's trouble, after Jacob's trouble, or after the Great Tribulation, it's the battle Armageddon and the day of the Lord. And we know when Yahweh Shai is coming to clean up. Essentially, Yahweh Shai is coming to Yahweh Shai coming up with the cleanup crew, and he coming to because the battle was already won. He coming to get his glory. He coming to get his shine on. So when Yahweh Shai come back on the scene, it's over for everybody. Everybody had their time. Yahweh, everybody had their time to say what they had to say. Everybody had their time to do what they was going to do. Everybody had their little, 15 minutes of fame. All right? It's Yahweh shot time now. So when Yahweh shot come on the scene, the 144,000 gonna be joint heirs with him, and Yahweh shot coming, ultimately to save his elect, and the men of the house of David coming to shine with him. That's their championship. That's when okay, we won the championship. So I like to think of the Great Tribulation or Jacob Trouble as the playoffs, man. It's crunch. This when it really matter. Right now you in the regular season. Everybody put up their stats. Everybody trying to be MVP. Everybody trying to get offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year. Everybody trying to get their shine on. No matter what you in, everybody trying to do it big in this life. Well, this is just the regular season. The Lord, see, a lot of people think that this whole world that we in is all there is. But again, the Lord has a time coming like none other before on the earth. And a lot of people gonna fold in these playoffs, man. Right? A lot of people gonna go home, man. In the worst way. So I like to think of the Great Tribulation, Jacob's Trouble, as the playoffs, as a tournament. So what you do now in the regular season is gonna show if you've been putting in that work. Because when the hour of temptation comes, it's gonna show have you been building your relationship up with the Most High? Have you been building up your faith? Because the scriptures say, how do you even build up your faith with the Most High? Yahweh Shema Washah. The scriptures say without faith it is impossible to please Him. Right? The scriptures say without faith it is impossible to please Him. So faith is imperative. That's a need. That's your lifeline. That's your lifeline, man. That's your life support. For lack of a better term, like a better word, that is your life support. Your faith, right, is your life support, man. All right. So you gotta have faith, because without that, it's impossible to please Him. So you gotta be building up your faith now, because faith is the only way you're gonna make it, or you're gonna make it, survive, be alive, be preserved, whatever you want to call it. Not be destroyed, right? Faith is the only way you're not going to be destroyed during the time of Jacob's trouble. All right? And, people that's not in the truth, that don't believe, they're going to find out the hard way. They're going to find out the hard way, man. All right? People think they don't need faith to they don't have to have belief in the Creator, man. People think they don't have to have a relation. They don't have to, be built up to be obedient and please the Creator, man. And essentially having faith is proving yourself to the Creator. All right, through various tests. The tests is trials and tribulations that you go through in this life to show that regardless of what the Most High putting you through, you still believe in Him. Right, you still showing up to work every day. You still showing up to the office every day, man. Essentially. But people that don't believe, or they think, just like and some of them gonna get preserved for slavery anyway. But a lot of people not, a lot of I'm gonna say this, a lot of Israelites or whatever. A lot of and when I say Israelites, you don't have to just know that you're an Israelite to be Israelite. A lot of Israelites, a lot of average Shmojo Edomites and heathens think they're gonna make it by other means. And when I say other means, like they think, okay, I'm a stock up, right? I'm a stock up on this. I got this figured out. We got this. I got this. Nah, man. The Lord has everything cut off. The Lord has this thing figured out. you dealing with a power that essentially, said, I'm gonna do all this. I'm gonna have this gonna play out, this gonna play out, this gonna play out. He had all that in his mind in the beginning, literally before Genesis 1:1. He had the ending, in his mind. How he was going, and not just the end in his mind, but he had all the details mapped out already. So this type of power that we dealing with, man. This is type of power we dealing with. So if you think I'm gonna say this, all right? I'm gonna say this. If you think you're gonna survive by other means and having faith in the Lord, good luck. Good luck. Farewell, good luck, and good riddance. Because you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna survive, right? People think that when a famine comes, which this is good, which it doesn't hurt, which is good. But again, like I say, because I'm gonna say this, if faith in the Most High is not the source driven, it's not the driven source of you getting up, waking up every day and continue on pushing through and knowing that, okay, I believe in the Most High, this how I'm gonna make it through whatever, because my belief in the Most High, nothing else, no, he the reason why I make it. If that's not your driven source, just forget it. You're not gonna make it. If that's not your driven source, just forget it. You're not gonna make it. Think about famine. People talk about stocking up, or people talk about, getting these life skills. And there's nothing wrong with having life skills, because our people were agricultural people, man. Our people knew how to hunt, camp, fish, deal with cattle, deal with the crops. Our people know how to do that. But again, if you think that's gonna save you during the time of famine, you sadly mistaken, man. I think a lot of people forget and not think. I know a lot of people forget that the Most High, that the Most High calls real famines out here. The Most High calls real famines out here, bro. The Most High calls real famines out here. Again, our people, when you read the Bible and you look at the different scenarios when our people were going through famines, those people were agricultural people. They were homestead people. Not just our people, but the whole earth knew how to do that, how to maneuver with the agriculture. They knew how to fish. Just think about it. Yahweh's disciples. The head disciple or head apostle was a fisherman, man. He was a fisherman. So our people knew how to hunt. They knew how to fish. They knew how to camp. They know how to deal with crops. They know how to deal with cattle. They know how to do all this basic stuff to survive. If we go back to ancient times without technology, quote unquote, how they said today, off the grid, they know how to do that. They know how to do all that stuff off the grid. But your off the grid skill is not gonna save you, because back in those times it didn't save them. It didn't deliver them from famine. Because the Lord, like I said, the Lord, our people forget that the Lord had real famines out here, man. And what do I mean by a real famine? All right, when I say real famine, I'm not talking about it's manufactured. Ain't nothing in the stores, nothing like this. At least they hoarding it all, they hogging it all, they put it in place, they starving the people out. I'm not talking about a manufactured famine. I'm talking about a real famine. All right, because let's say for instance, well, I ain't even gonna say that. I'm gonna just say this. When you dealing with a people, like, take the technology out, take the grid off of it. When you're dealing with a people that, like I say, our people, an agricultural people that know how to survive in today's age, you will call it off the grid. How do you even how does a famine even affect those type of people? You know, how does a God go about creating a famine if these people know how to survive either other way? Because that's not the case, right? That was never the case. What I mean by a real famine is the Lord closing up the heavens. So guess what? Your crop's not gonna get no type of water. But hold on. I thought you was gonna make it by the way of your crops. You know, I thought, okay, I know how to grow food. I know how to do this. Well, how you gonna grow food if the Lord ain't causing it to rain? People forget that in the scriptures it talk about the Lord gonna cause a famine in the land. It's gonna be a drought out here. The scriptures speak about how the Lord gonna turn all the waters, the salt waters into blood, and gonna turn the fresh waters into blood. All right, the Lord has done this before. The Lord gonna close up the heavens. It's gonna be a drought. Your crops gonna be scorched, right? Your vegetation gonna be scorched. All right. So then what you gonna do? All the homesteaders, and there's nothing wrong with homesteading, but again, if that's your driven source of how you gonna make it, you're sadly mistaken. Because what you gonna do when you ain't getting no rain, when it's scorched? All right? What you gonna do when the Lord turn all the waters to blood? Okay? For all the fishermen out there, all the folks that know how to fish, what you gonna do when there ain't no aquatic life in the waters because the Lord turned all the waters to blood? A lot of people forget that our Lord out here caused real famines out here, bruh. A lot of people forget that the Most High, Yahweh Shema Shah, in ancient times, when our people were ancient people that in today's age you would call them people off the grid, he caused real famine on these people. And these people, again, like I be saying, damn truck passing by. But like I be saying in my mind, our forefathers, back in ancient times, they were levels above our people today. When it come to stuff like, life skills, they were levels above our people. But these same people, the Lord caused famine upon these people, and they didn't have an answer. They didn't know what to do. But these were same people that know how to deal with agriculture, they know how to fish, they know how to hunt, they know how to camp. They know if you was to put them in today's age and tell them they can't use modern day technology, they'll be fine because they know how to maneuver with nature. They know how to do that. But the Lord caused famines upon these people to where they couldn't survive it. The Most High starved these people out. All right, the Most High starved these people out. So it baffles me today how people think people think they're gonna out trick the Most High when a famine on the earth. People think, okay, I don't need the Most High. I got my land. I know how to grow crops. I know how to fish. I got all this. And they forget about faith. They don't depend on the Most High for them because they got to figure it out. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. But they forget that their forefathers knew how to do the same shit. And when it was a famine, their forefathers was getting starved out the same way, right? They was getting starved out the same way. Again, the Most High gonna close up the heavens. There gonna be no water. Your crops gonna get scorched. The Most High gonna, for all the people that think they're gonna fish their way out of Jacob's trouble, you're gonna fish, right? People, your faith, your belief. Okay, I'm gonna fish. Well, the Most High gonna turn all the waters to blood. All the fish gonna be dead. What you gonna do then? For all the people that's fishing, get your fishing pole. If you ain't all the fish, you out here assed out. No, if you don't got faith, you gonna be assed out. All right. For all the people think, oh shit, I'm gonna hunt. I know how to hunt. I know how to hunt. Well, shit, our forefathers know how to hunt. Not just our forefathers, but the whole world know how to hunt. The scripture said Esau was a cunning hunter. Scripture say Nimrod was a mighty hunter. But again, when it's a famine out here, that means it's gonna be nothing. So what you gonna do with all the? Because the scripture say in the end times, Jacob's trouble, the land gonna be desolate. Read Isaiah 24. It says the Lord caused the whole land to be empty. The whole land goes. So it ain't gonna be no animals out here to hunt. What you gonna do then? When there ain't nothing out here to hunt? When it ain't gonna be nothing out here to hunt? You know how to hunt? Yeah, you know how to hunt. But what you gonna hunt when ain't no animals out here? When it's a famine, like I say, the Lord gonna cause a real famine. People forget the Lord caused real famines in the earth in biblical times, where they knew how to survive in quote unquote in today's age off the grid. So what you gonna do then when it ain't no animals to hunt out here, man? Right? So they take away, all the hunter. Yeah, I know how to hunt. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. Well, you ain't gonna be hunting. You ain't gonna be hunting soon. People that know how to fish. You ain't gonna be fishing soon. People that know how to grow plants and invest all that vegetation shit. Well, you ain't gonna be doing that soon, man. So what you gonna do then? What you gonna do then, bro? Huh? What you gonna do then? See the Most High is gonna show why having faith in Him and the Creator is key. It's key, bro. Another thing I'm gonna touch on for all the people that's stocking up, right? For all the bug out bag makers and people that they got their 7-year supply stock up. Well, a movie, and this not the only movie, but I'm gonna make a point with this movie right here. And this I gotta say, this movie right here is probably my favorite out of the series. I want to say it's either it might be my number one, or I'm leaning towards number 2. All right, but it's one of my favorite movie in the series. It's the fifth Purge movie that came out. It's called Forever Purge. And watching that movie, man, it was heavy. Not necessarily the movie itself, but the stuff that they put in the movie to where it was heavy. It was heavy prophecy. It was heavy prophecy going on, because that movie was like the pre-apocalyptic movie. It was like it was like a movie, like it was the setting of the movie. It's like what you would think of the times right before Jacob's Trouble. All right. Okay, a brother left a comment. I'm just not seeing it. He says, "So is gathering pointless?" Honest question. Just want insight. So gathering, right? So, and people that people that watch this video later, when he say when we talking about gathering, basically we talking about how they say in the world, stocking up on supply for the end times, or the apocalyptic times, stocking up on food, water, and supplies that you need. Now, gathering that stuff is not pointless, but like the point I was making, I was like, your driven source of how you think you're gonna make it. If you think gathering supplies is your driven source, if that's your driven source of faith of how you're going to make it in Jacob's Trouble, in the Great Tribulation, then yes, it is pointless, because you're gonna die. The Lord gonna show that the only way to survive is faith in Him. So if you're gathering in the point of putting all your faith and trust in that, then yes, it is pointless. But to a degree, it can be helpful, man. So it's two sides to it. If you gathering, it's like, okay, I can, this could help me down the line. It could possibly help me. I'm not putting my trust and faith in it. I got my trust and faith in the Most High, because I might not be able to use this stuff when it come time when I need to use it. All right, but it's just all up really to the Most High if He allow you to use what you gathering, because the Most High can have it to where He say, well, now the stuff that you gathering, it could be for somebody else, and I'm gonna test you. I'm gonna still have it to where you make it, but I'm gonna test you. So what I'm saying, it's really all up to the Most High. But if you just if you gathering supplies and you got your faith, and like, I'm gonna ride out Jacob's trouble. I'm gonna ride out to the Lord, come back on all this. And, that's just how you gonna make it. Then, it's pointless. He said, Khan, faith all in Yahweh, gathering isn't helpful to a Khan. Right. Gathering can be helpful. Right. And I'm not saying, like I said, with life skills, knowing how to hunt, knowing how to fish, knowing how to camp, knowing how to deal with cattle and vegetation, all those things can be helpful. But if you got your faith solely in that, then you're not gonna make it, right? But gathering can be help. Gathering stuff, having a supply of things that can definitely be helpful. So gathering is not necessarily pointless. But if you just got all your faith in that, then it can be proven pointless, because the Most High is gonna prove a point to show that that's not gonna save you, right? But that was a good question. Another thing I was talking about, the Purge movie, the 5th Purge movie that came out. So that movie was heavy from the stuff that they was putting in it. Like it was 3 things in that movie that jumped out at me. I believe it was I'm trying to remember, but it was 3 things in that. It was the Forever Purge movie, the 5th Purge movie that came out. It's called Forever Purge. It was 3. I think I gotta go back and watch that movie again. But it was 3 things in that movie that jumped out to me, man. 3 heavy prophetic things. I can't really think of them now, but I knew it was 3 things. But what I want to touch upon is, according to, that relate to what I'm saying, is you had a rich white family, that they had land. They had cattle, they had land, they had servants, they had different things. I'm pretty sure they had a supply of things. When the purge night came, they stuff was secure. They had money to secure themselves on the purge night. But when it came down to the whole plot of the movie, the theme of the movie, the Forever Purge, where it continued on, spoiler alert, after the purge night, you had pretty much a party, I don't want to say political party, but you pretty much had like a national group called pretty much Forever Purgers. And pretty much the whole thing was that they don't just purge on that night, but after that night, the purge should continue forever. They got in their mind that the purge should continue forever. So they were purging. So they were just purging, just killing folks, past what they were supposed to stop at this time, but they just gonna continue forever, right? So when that broke out and when that started happening, this rich white family, when the shit got hot, when guns was firing and bullets was flaring, when after that, pretty much when they had to, flee the scene, they had to flee, they had to go, they had to leave all that behind. So all that land that they had, that cattle, all that stuff that they had to go, they had to flee. They had to flee for their safety, because their lives was in there. If they would have stayed there, ain't no telling what could have happened to them if they stayed there. So they had to flee, they had to go. They had to go. So I use that as an example to, you got people that stocking up. You got people that like gathering, people that's, that think that they got security in a certain place, but they don't know when shit really hit the fan, when, when the shit get hot, they're gonna have to, go. They're gonna have to be on the move. They're gonna have to flee. A lot of people talk about these bug out bags, and a lot of people putting their faith and trust in a bug out bag. Saying, oh, you're not gonna survive, you're not gonna make it if you don't have a bug out bag, and this and this. I can think of one dude that he really be pushing that, like, you need to get your bug out bag. If you don't do that, you stupid, you dumb. Like, bro, you're not gonna having a bug out bag is not gonna be the reason you make it in Jacob's trouble. It's not gonna be the reason you get saved, man. All right, but speaking on the bug out bag, like, you don't know if a military troop comes through, a military troop comes through and they surround your house, or shots get fired or whatever, or your house might catch on fire, to where you're not gonna have time to, a lot of people think they know what they're gonna do when shit pop off. All right, but you don't know. You don't know where your shit go. You know what I'm saying? You might not have time to get that, or you might get snatched up. Or you might get blown 30 feet away. Bomb might get blown 30 feet away. Everything catch on fire. Now what you gonna do? Bug out bag gone. All the quote unquote tools and devices that you had packed in your bug out bag, and you were just waiting for this moment. You just when this pop, I'm prepared, I'm ready. You just cocky. You just overconfident, just prideful. Very prideful. Looking at you got your bug out bag. Looking at others, just talking down. Like, these niggas ain't gonna make it. And the Most High make a fool out you when that day comes. Why? Because you didn't have faith in Him. You had faith in carnality. You had faith in carnal things. A lot of people put their trust in the tangible and the physical things. All right, and the Most High gonna bring it to their confounding. All right, so like the Purge movie, that it's called Purge Forever. That was a good example, man. I'm still trying to think of the three heavy things that they put in that movie. That I was trying to think of, but it was three heavy things that I'm like, man, that's in the scriptures, But I'm gonna have to go back and watch that movie. I want to do a review on that movie. But so a lot of people think they just gonna skate through Jacob's trouble by their carnal means, by their physical means. Khan brother, he said, Khan, it can pop off while you're away from everything you've invested in. Khan, exactly. Exactly, man. People don't know when we don't know exactly when the Most High gonna cause things to go into disarray. Because like you just said, you can build everything that you invested in, that you had. That's okay. Like you've been preparing for this, right? In the through carnal, tangible things. You've been preparing for this day. You've been preparing for these times. So like you've been preparing for these times, but all the things that you had set up, for the use, you miles, hundreds of miles away from it. So then what? Now you're gonna have faith. You gotta have so faith is the only way. Faith is the only way. A lot of people think they're gonna survive by their guns and having their guns. I got all Nah, bro. What happened when and that's the easy one. That's the easy one to debunk. What you gonna do when you run out of bullets? A lot of people think they got infinite ammo. Or they might have, like I said, you might have something stocked up, but again, you gotta have to, it's gonna be a time where you're gonna have to flee, be on the go, or like the brother said, you might just be away from it. You might just be away from it. So the only, what I'm saying, and those, all the stuff that I mentioned, those are things people say, that they say that they're going to use to survive, the times, and they like to, downplay, others, for not doing this or not, like they like to boast on that, boast in those things. When I come, but I come to, not necessarily, set the record straight, but pretty much give people food for thought, to consider and warn people that, faith is the number one thing, and is the only thing, the only way, the source, having faith in the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. That's how you gonna be saved when this shit really go down. It ain't knowing how to fish. It ain't knowing how to hunt. It's not knowing how to camp. Right? It's It's not knowing how to grow crops. It's not none of that, bro. It's literally, there's no worldly skill in this earth that you can learn that's gonna save you during Jacob's trouble. Right? There's no worldly skill, you could be the smartest man on the internet. The Lord gonna cause the internet to cease. Right? Like you got a lot of people that's highly invested in the stock market, cryptocurrency and forex and all that. Well, soon all that's gonna cease, man. The Lord calls the internet you're not gonna get a signal out here soon. That's an easy one to debunk. But like I said, there's no worldly skill that you can learn, master, and say, okay, I'm gonna use this. This is how I'm going to be saved during Jacob's trouble. No, you're gonna be a fool. You're gonna look like an ass, man. You're gonna be a fool. Okay, you must have faith in Yahweh Shema. So you must believe in the unseen. You gotta, like it says, we walk by faith, not by sight. A good example of that is the movie, The Book of Eli. All right, when you watch the movie, The Book of Eli, when Denzel Washington plays Eli, spoiler alert. If you haven't watched the movie, just spoiler alert. But that character Eli, when you get to the end of the movie, you realize that this man is blind, right? So this man was literally walking by faith and not by sight. Literally, right? Literally, man. Okay? He was literally walking by faith and not by sight. The man cannot see at all. Okay? So and then when you watch that movie, you understand, like, damn, he was doing all that blind. He was literally having faith in the Lord. And that's a perfect example of having faith. That's a perfect the scripture, walking by faith and not by sight. And he was carrying his Bible with him, but that's how you're gonna make it in Jacob's trouble. You're gonna make it by faith, by believing. You're gonna be, for the brothers out there that actually believe, you're gonna be the Lord, the Most High, is gonna make you more precious than fine gold through your faith. Right? You're gonna be made more precious than fine gold through the faith. Like, the Lord's gonna have it to where you're good. Right? Why? Because you trusted in Him. Why? Because you believed in Him. So the Most High is gonna have it. He gonna have it all mapped out for you. It ain't gonna be nothing to worry about. All you gotta do is trust in Him. Worrying about what the Most High wants you to do. That's all you gotta do. So that's how you gonna make it in time of Jacob's trouble. Not by what else I said. Not by fishing. None of that, man. Now, so you might be a good trader. You might know how to deal with. You might know how to be a good merchant or a trader, whatever. That's not gonna help you survive. When this stuff go, when this economy collapse and people gonna go back to like a bartering system. Trading and bartering and stuff. You might be you might know how to be good with bartering and shit. That's not gonna save you neither, man. Again, only the Most High can save you. Only the Most High can save you when this shit pop off. But I think that was it, man. That I had wanted to touch upon. I think I left no stone unturned for the most part. And the Most High kind of just put that on my spirit when I was walking. So yeah, man. The only way, the only way to be saved during Jacob's trouble. The only way to be saved during Jacob's trouble is having faith in the Most High, Yahweh Shema Shai. You gotta have faith, man. All right, you gotta have faith. You gotta continue to keep going, though it seems troubling at sometimes. The Most High will the Most High will bless you and have mercy upon you. You just gotta trust in Him, man. You gotta keep the faith. You gotta understand that nothing else, no worldly means is gonna be the reason why you're making it. Why everybody else getting put to death and starving and all these horrible things happening to them. You're out here being fed and hydrated, and you got safety and refuge only because of the Most High, man. Only because of Yahweh Shema Shai. So that's the point I was making. Hey, to everybody out there, man, take heed. With that, I'm gonna say shalom, 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 shalom.